Yeah, super excited. A big welcome. So quickly, we're going to be taking you through on what we did on the first phase of the video. We are going to be taking you through and then having a preview of what we did in the first part of the video. So that means if you haven't watched the first part of this video, you need to go watch the first phase so that you know what we did and how we got to this point where we are right now on the project. So we had to do farm siting, and then we had to also examine the soil. After examining the soil, we prepared our land. After land preparation, we had to then start with the farm layout, because we had to lay our land properly and then to get the desired design of farm layout or structure that we wanted. And that is what you are going to be seeing on the first part of this video. And then the continuation, which is this very video, we are going to be taking you through on everything that you need to know in order to set up your ugwu field properly. So I need you to stay glued to your screen right now, and if you haven't subscribed, guys, hit on the subscribe button, turn on your notification bell, and do well to like this video. So stay glued as we take you through on the second phase of ugwu farm setup for a client. So guys, first thing first, before you even think of having your ugwu field established, farm layout is key. Like this field, what we did first was to properly lay out this field. Farm planning is key. So we knew what we wanted, we knew how we wanted the field to look at. All we needed to do was to get some guys and then share the vision with them, and that was what we did on this field. Farm layout was key, and that is why you have everything looking beautiful. You must ensure you have a proper pathway. This is planting time, and I'm going to be showing you what the ugwu seed looks like, in case you haven't really seen the ugwu seed. So this is a typical ugwu seed. So we have various or different sizes of ugwu seed. Like this one is a quite smaller type of ugwu seed. So this is the basin ugwu seed. They are usually very small in terms of the size of the seed, but they are very awesome when they start growing. It's one of the best varieties of ugwu you could think of going for if you want to establish your ugwu field. So now the ugwu has two major parts you need to pay attention to. The first part is the pointed part, which is the tip. Then we have the flat part or the flat surface part of the edge. Now these two parts plays a very major role in the growth of ugwu. This tip is the part that grows into where the roots come out from. This is the part where the roots come out from, and then the vine, which is the shoot of the ugwu, would come out from this part of the ugwu. So once you cultivate this ugwu, you must ensure you cultivate the ugwu properly, because if you want to cultivate, I'm going to be showing you, say you want to cultivate the ugwu, and then after you've dug your hole, like we're saying right here, after you've dug your hole, you see we're trying, after you've dug your hole about 10 to like 20 centimeters into the soil, after you've dug your hole, you must then ensure that you place the ugwu properly, because if you don't place it properly into the soil, like this is what I'm saying now. This is what I'm saying. If you don't, you have to place it properly into the soil, just like I'm doing right now. You don't plant it this way. You don't allow the pointed part to face forward or to face up. You must insert it into the soil this way, and then look at the depth of this hole. So the depth is not so deep. You don't have to make a very deep hole, so that the the vine can easily come up once it starts emerging. So this is it, and then you ensure you fill it up a bit so that you can easily insert it, and then you cover lightly. You don't heap a lot of soil into the hole, so you don't get to stress the vine. The whole essence is so we don't get to stress the vine at the end of the day. So that is very, very important. You must always consider the stress level of this your ugu plant when cultivating. So that is it basically. This is a typical ugu seed, and we are already cultivating field. So the spacing we are using is 60 centimeter inter-row spacing, and then the intra-row is 50 centimeter, and that is what we are doing. So it's marking out the point where the planting is going to take place. So it's marking out the point where the planting is going to take place. You've seen it. This is basically what he's doing. He's marking out the point where the planting is going to take place. So as you can see, the stick has been measured already to be 60 centimeter, and then he needs to, and this long stick also has been split into, has been marked into 50 centimeter apart. Yes, from here to here is 50 centimeter. It's been calibrated already. Yes, that's the word. It has been calibrated, and I just want you to see how we do it. We must ensure that the right spacing is maintained. The right spacing has to be maintained so that we get the right plant population at the end of the day. Getting the right plant population is key, because your plant population is your yield, and your yield is the money you get to make at the end of the day. Imagine if you have a scanty field, you don't maintain the right plant population. What do you think will happen? You won't make money, because you have fewer plants than you should on a particular land area. So the size of this bed we're using is from here to that point is 6 meters, and then from that point to that other point is 5 meters. So what we used is a 6 by 5 meter bed size. So I tell you, this is really beautiful, because we've done a whole lot, and then we are at this point. So what we're going to do after planting is we are going to apply a pre-emergence, and you can't use all kind of chemical on the field. You must use a chemical that is friendly to your ugu seeds, and I'm going to be showing you the chemical we're going to use at the end of the day. So these seeds are going to take about 10 days. At least from the 10th day they should have started emerging. So from the 10th day we should see emergence on this field, and that is going to be so lovely. I tell you, it's going to be lovely at the end of the day, because a whole lot of resources has been put into this field, and then these guys have really done massive job on the field. So guys, I tell you, so he kind of figured out that place was a bit hard, and then he needed to loosen the soil so as to create a very good environment for emergence of the seed. Once they start emerging, they need a very loose soil in order for the seed, that is the root of the seed, to penetrate the soils easily. So what we don't want to have a soil or a field that does not have a friendly soil for the seeds to do well in. So that's what we're doing here basically, and it's super nice. So guys, this is it. I'm really taking you guys on this journey, farm setup, and we are almost done. Okay, so another thing you need to pay attention to is the seed. Yeah, you have to pay attention to the seed because if you don't plant the right seed, this is bad already. Because if you plant a bad seed, don't expect to have very good emergence. So this would have to be thrown away. And I need to show you something also. So before you plant, you try to compress the seed like I'm doing now. You see it's hard. if you pick up some, once you compress it, you see that they just go inside very soft. So it's advisable to double any of these seeds that is not looking so healthy. So if it's not looking healthy like this one, you know this is bad already, there's nothing inside, so it's not going to emerge. So if you plant it, you might really think of transplanting later on so as to get your right plant population at the end of the day. But guys, this is just the basic things you need to do when you are planting. I tell you, it is planting time, and you have to pay attention to all these things. Your spacing, your seed, and all of this you have to pay massive attention to it. Okay, all right. Like you saying right now, we are currently installing the irrigation for the ugwu field. Yes, we are installing irrigation for the field, because in few months time now we're gonna go into dry season proper, and we need something sustainable, and that will be super sustainable for the project we have at hand, and that is what you are seeing right now. So the drip currently being installed. Yeah, it's currently being installed, and that is the next phase on the project. The planting has been done, so we are installing the drip lines, and you can see how the job is being done. So it's pretty cool, because we really want the best from this very field. Okay, so I'm gonna take you guys all through down to where the guy who's making it happen is, and you gotta see it. So okay, so spacing is still very key. Spacing is still very key. So each of this drip line is really going with the spacing we started with. From here to here is a 50 centimeter, because the intra spacing is 50 while the interspacing is 60 centimeters. So from here to here 50 centimeter, and that is what we are going with all the way down to the end. So that's it guys, that is the update on the project. So see you guys later. So I'm going to be taking you around the field, so you get to see what the project has been like. You get to see some of the things we took into consideration and why we did what we did. So basically you are going to be seeing the project update and bringing you up to speed. So let's dive into the field so you get to have a feel of what the project has been like. Today I am bringing you up to speed on this ugwu project. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing right here is ugwu of about 3 weeks. Yeah, these guys are, the seedlings are about 3 weeks old. So because they were not planted at the same time, so there's going to be variation in their growth. But the oldest, which is the one on this very first bed, were planted exactly 21 days ago. That's 3 weeks. So this is what a 21 days old ugwu seedlings look like. So if you haven't seen what a 21 days old ugwu plant look like, this is what they look like. So, and I tell you, they are looking amazing. So this is just bringing you up to speed so that you see the project, where we started, where we are now, and then where we're headed to. So they're looking pretty okay. I thought we also have our irrigation installed, a drip installed on the field. So I told you the drip for me is the best possible kind of irrigation for ugwu, where you don't really have large water body. So the best thing to use is your drip, because with this drip now, water is going to be used optimally, so there won't be any wastage sort of. And then we're also going to starve the weeds also, so as water will only be available to just the cultivated plant. So this is what we are having right here. So that is the essence of laying your field properly, and that is why they are looking so beautiful. So it's about 3 weeks, and I tell you, in let's say in 3 weeks time or in a month's time, we are going to be having our first harvest, and that is the projection. So what we are going to be doing on this field next is we are going to start with nutrient application. So we'll have to hold on for it to really come up properly, because we wouldn't want them to experience any shock. So even if you have your field, your project, your ugwu project, so please do not immediately apply your fertilizer or your compost. You allow them to come out first, let them get used to the environment, before you start introducing any of the amendments you want to add to the soil. So I'm going to be showing you what we are going to be doing on this particular field. So this is 3 weeks. We have basically done all we need to do. What we have to do right now is to maintain this field and then ensure that everything is intact. So, and that is why I also talked about the right agronomic practices also. So this particular bed, if you pay attention, you discover some weeds growing on the bed. I think this very bed wasn't sprayed properly, and that is why we're already having emergence of weed. But ordinarily, what the chemical we apply should be able to carry this field for 6 weeks, 6 good weeks. By then your ugwu would have been big boys and girls, so your ugwu seedlings would have been grown, so they would be able to compete well with the wood. So what we're going to be doing next week is to use manual weeding to get rid of any weed that comes up or that pops up on this ugwu field henceforth. So ugwu for now does not have any selective herbicide, so if you have any, you can contact me. So I'll be here and I'll be willing to buy from you. But right now, ugwu does not have a selective herbicide. So what we'll do is manual weeding, and that is what we are going to be doing for beds that already having presence of weed, because we have to eliminate these weeds before we apply organic fertilizer. We have to eliminate the weeds before we apply our organic fertilizer. So guys, this is what the field looks like after 3 weeks. This is what the field looks like after 3. Remind you, these ones here, these sets here, were not planted at the same time, so at different days. But so let's just say roughly between 2 to 3 weeks old ugwu is what you are seeing on this field. So guys, they are looking good and we are getting ready for business, because in a month's time we're having our first harvest, and we can't wait because a whole lot has really been invested into this field. So that means you can start harvesting your ugwu field within the first 2 months. So but you wouldn't get as much harvest as you would when you get to have your second harvest. Yes, you wouldn't get as much harvest as you would when you get to do your second, third, and then more, because more vines would have developed. So for now we'll have to wait. Okay, let me show you something. In a month's time we would have, let me take one of these plants now. In a month's time we would have, this is about 3 weeks old, so in a month's time we would have had this vine grow longer. So when it grows longer, what happens? when it grows longer, meaning we'll be able to get about 3 to 4 nodes, which is the standard before we can harvest from any vine. Okay, I think this is better. Let me use this to show you. So this is one node, this is another node, this is another node, this is another node here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So in 3 to 4 weeks time now, the vines should have been grown. They would have grown longer than this. So all we need to do is what? Identify the vines, make sure we are harvesting above, yes, we are harvesting above the 3. So what we are just going to do is count 1, 2, 3 nodes, or in some cases you leave it at 4 nodes, then you harvest the rest of the vine. So that's what we're going to be doing in 3 weeks time. So before the 3 weeks, what we'll have to do is we have to apply insecticide, fungicide, and we also apply amendment, which is a fertilizer, on this ugwu plant. So that would help boost their growth, because this is a commercial field. We can't afford to leave anything to chance, so we have to, a whole lot has been invested and we are expecting to make money from the field, so we can't leave anything to chance. Definitely we can't leave anything to chance. Alright, so that's it guys, that is it guys. So that was an amazing time on the field. We basically saw the project, and this is the ugwu project after 3 weeks. This is what it looks like after 3 weeks. So you saw how we all started, you saw how we think we had to do the whole operation, right from the farm siting down to when we had to start clearing, when we had to start preparing the beds, when we started planting. A whole lot of operation have been carried out when the drip line was installed, when everything basically I have shared with you, and I really want you to go try it out on your own. But in case you have still so scared of trying it out yourself, fine, hit us up, let us help you out, let us get you established. Then in the process you learn to, and then you run on your own subsequent project. But the startup is always key. You should never try to start on the wrong note. Try to start agriculture on a right note, so that at the end of the day you are going to be smiling to the bank. Alright guys, we are going to draw it here at this point in time, but right now 2 videos are appearing on your screen. I need you to hit on one of the videos, subscribe to my channel if you haven't subscribed yet, and turn on your notification bell so you get notified when new videos drop. Bye for now guys, I gotta go.